Hi folks, my name is Chuck Tuck, and today I have got something to show you. This is the CB310, or as we refer to it as the Magic Presenter. So you might be asking yourself, what's so magic about it? I'll tell you what, this little box here can update your current devices in your classroom that may be outdated and bring it up to today's standards. So how's it done? Well, I can tell you it has 3 HDMI input ports, a VGA input, and also a USB. So it's got a USB 3 and USB 2, so you can use it for storage. But what it does is it'll take the current device that you have in your classroom and update it by using the Android 7.1 operating system that's built right into this box. So from there, this can turn everything into an interactive device. So you could turn your old classroom monitor or TV, if you have an old projector, you can connect new devices and turn that into current standard classroom technology devices. So let me go through this and show you a little bit more about it firsthand, okay? So let's go ahead and dive right into it. Okay, so what we're doing is we're taking a look at the CB310 Magic Presenter box and how I connected my 2 document cameras. One, which is the U70 Plus using the USB power, and then the F70W. So that is going to be using the HDMI output and going to an input on the CB310. So let's take a look. So you can see here, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking my HDMI and I'll be going into HDMI 1. So you see I actually have 3 HDMI inputs if I had 3 devices, and I also have the VGA and I have the USB 3. I'm using the USB 3 connection, so I have enough power to power the document camera itself. So let's go ahead and plug that in. And then from the output in the rear, I'm going to have HDMI 1 and 2 outputs. So I will take one HDMI and plug that in, and I'm going to take the second HDMI and I'm going to plug that one in. Now here's a USB 2.0, and I will be taking my mouse and I'll be plugging that in. And now we're ready to go. Okay, now we're ready to take a look at what the CB310 Magic Presenter box can do. So right now what I have is the CB310, the HDMI output 1 going to my large monitor display, which could be at the front of the classroom, or this could be a projector. And then my HDMI 2 is going to a smaller, it doesn't have to be smaller, it could be a large one as well, but it's going to a smaller desktop monitor. So as an example, this could be at the front of the classroom for all the kids to see, and then maybe you'll have a smaller group, or you'll have this smaller monitor or second monitor at the back of the classroom for the kids back there to see more clearly. Or you can have this through a projector or the large screen, and then you can have the second output going to a monitor, perhaps on the teacher desk. And why might you do that? Well, how about if you're working from a workstation as a teacher, you want to be able to see exactly what the students are seeing. So when it's showing the same thing on both screens, you can use that smaller desktop monitor just to see what it is that's being displayed. So here's a couple of other things. On the CB310, there are 5 buttons, and you have your power, you have your mode, and then we have a volume up and volume down, and then we have our source button. The source button is just going to allow us to select between, like I said, HDMI input 1, 2, 3, or VGA or USB. Now the mode button, if I was to select mode, this is going to show me what is active or what's connected. So we can see HDMI 1 is active, 2 and 3 are not. I don't have anything plugged in. And the VGA is not active because I have nothing plugged in there. USB we have the USB document camera plugged in, and right now I'm using the AVer U70 Plus document camera. You also see that I have screen share capability, so I can have two students or two groups of students working together. Now here's what's really neat. I could come over and select HDMI 1. Now here's one thing, you notice it blacks out the others. You can only have one live input when you do a split screen. Then I come over to USB. USB is live too. You can do screen share 1 and screen share 2. So now I've got 4 different inputs active. Bottom right, it says start. I click on the start button. So now what I have is upper left-hand corner, I have my F70W document camera that's live. I could be working on an assignment here. And this is my other document camera, my U70 Plus, which I could be working on something else. Perhaps I'm doing an experiment of some sort and I want to see some before, during, and after. These are your groups of students. You have your number 1 and number 2 Miracast. So the students are connected to that. Or something else that they may be able to do. You have one group working live, paired up with another group down here showing what they are doing. Same thing, second group of students working live and the second group of students who are paired up with them showing the answer or whatever it might be. So this is fantastic. Now, if I want to go back and change something, I'll just go ahead and select from the arrows on the left and right hand side. If I click on that, I have either home or I have my source button. If I click my source button, you see it brings up again what's live and I can make some changes. If I want to just go back to one live screen, I can undo number 4, number 3, or maybe I want to have 2 live images. So let's do that. And then I click yes or okay. And here it is, split screen. And let's do this. There we go. Better focus. So now I have a couple of live images going. Okay. You could think about a lot of different things you could do with that. And then again, if I want to just go back to one live, or if I want to go back to showing maybe just the students group, go to my source and uncheck the USB, uncheck the HDMI, and just go to my screen shares 1 and 2, click OK, and then here it is. This is what the groups of students are casting to the device. Okay, now that they're done sharing some of the work, let's go back. All right, I'm going to go to my source. Remember, again, I could press the mode or the source button on the CB310 itself. Here, and let's just uncheck some of this stuff. Now, I'm going to go back to my HDMI 1 and click OK. So now this is just going to show me the one live image, and perhaps this could be the document camera that's at the teacher's desk or the teacher's workstation. So I have that right here, and this is that live image. All right, so let's have another look here. Now, a couple different things that you're going to notice here. If let me go back here. Okay, so source button. If I click the source button and you take a close look, this is just showing the source, okay? No settings, none of that. If I click the home, it gives me also the option, or shows me the different sources, and I can select my source. But this time you notice that it's slightly different. Bottom left is going to be your settings. You click on settings, and now this is where if I wanted to set things up as far as go wireless, or if I am connected to the Ethernet, my volume on the display, and my memory, it shows me everything that I have. And here's something that's really important: factory reset. So if you ever need to reset your CB310, this is where you'll go and you do a factory reset. Now, the one thing to be cautious about this is if you do a factory reset, it will delete everything. It'll just reset it back to the factory mode. And down here you see that about it is the Android operating system 7.1.2. I could click on here and I could do a system update check. So click on that and it does show that I am up to date. Also going to Google. Now this is where I could manage my Google account. I could connect different Google accounts if I want. And the reason that you would do that is because you may want to access your Google Drive. Let's do this. And let's delete out of here. And now I'm back to that live image. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the mode button on the panel itself. Select mode button, and this brings me to the actual operating system of the CB310. So from here, if you're familiar with the interactive flat panels that we have out, this is going to be the exact same thing. But if you're not familiar with it, so what I can do is, you see that I've got a number of different apps on here that's loaded up. And as an example, maybe I want to, well, let's go to the Play Store. I could go to the Play Store and I could search for different classroom or school apps to download. Quick and easy way to go back to this home screen is just hit the mode button twice and it'll bring you right back here. Okay, so what we could do from here is you have the AVer whiteboard that's going to be made available to you. So you can use the AVer whiteboard. And let's see, I'm just going to go back again. Go back. I have YouTube. If I had already downloaded the YouTube app, I would have that available to me. But again, there's a lot of different things in here. So if you do some exploring, you'll find out that this CB310 truly is a magic presenter box. As I mentioned at the very beginning, this will take some of your new devices and it'll update your old or current device in the classroom. Again, if this was just the panel and I did not have an operating system, this is a really good way to go without having to spend a lot of money, and it'll update that old panel and now you're going to have an operating system. And again, you have a simultaneous output. The same thing, you have it on your teacher's desktop monitor and you have it on a projector or a large screen at the front of the classroom. So that's about it. So hopefully this gives you an idea what the CB310 Magic Presenter can do for you. So this is Chuck Tuck signing off. Thank you again. Bye-bye.